This is Dr. Gigi Sabbat, and you're listening into the Walk With Me podcast. Joining me today is Dr. Tanya Gold, and we are really looking forward to a discussion on the Post Soul Reset Retreat. Welcome, Dr. Tanya Gold.
Thank you, Gigi, for having me.
You're welcome. Dr. Gold, can you tell us a little bit more about you and where are you from?
Oh, I am a hormone expert and medical board certified medical doctor, and originally from New York City. I live now in Tampa, Florida.
I love it. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Gold.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, this weekend, we actually hosted our first annual Soul Reset Retreat, 3 days. Tell us a little bit more about your experience, Dr. Gold.
This was to recharge the body, release and relax. I feel in a lot of people are just having a lot of strife in the world. So this was a way to reconnect with self, to take a break from all the stressors of our phones, of technology, of the outside world, and to just start bringing in peace and self-care for health, for vitality, and for good energy and connection.
I love it. Now, what were some of the most powerful moments from the retreat?
There were many breakthroughs, including for myself. I felt transformed afterwards, and it was I'll share one of the stories from one of the ladies. She was mentioning having an eating disorder for the first time. And I felt, wow, that was very powerful. She got heartfelt and deep, but we were in a supportive environment and we were there for her. And I think reaching out and getting that help and in a loving, professional way was really therapeutic. And now the next step is to continue with this effort, knowing that the first step is speaking about it and now doing something about it too. And there's resources.
Very powerful. Yes, communication is key. Now, what themes seem to resonate most with the participants, Dr. Gold?
One big one was connection with a higher power. Some people's beliefs in Christianity, there was actually a prayer group, a Bible study going on in the mornings on their own, which I thought was wonderful. And I know that you participated in that. And I thought, people were doing what they needed to do to heal. And even for that person, she said she does connect, but she usually does it alone. And this is a time she did it with somebody else. And I know there are Bible study groups, but it was so nice as part of our retreat, people were venturing out and finding the resources they needed. This was outside of the retreat hours. They got up pretty early to do it, but that was wonderful. They watched the sunrise, they did their runs after, and they were just feeling fulfilled, wholehearted self-care, which is part of this retreat. We're learning what works for us, what works for you, and that's the important part.
That's right. And speaking of getting a workout in, one of our participants mentioned that she got at least 8 miles in.
Wow.
As far as walking or running. And her and I actually did 4 miles together in Palm Coast. So, so much fun. Yes.
Yeah. And what we're learning too, it's not about the amount, it's about the impact and when we're doing it out of love for our bodies, love for that self-care. So we're doing it not to hurt ourselves. It's not that it has to be timed at a certain pace. Again, if you're training for something and you're practicing and that's what you're doing, that's fine. But it's not that you feel compelled or that pressure. You're doing it out of the love for movement and that your body needs it for sustenance. So movement is not punishment, it's pleasure.
Yes, I second that. Now, Dr. Gold, what shifts or breakthroughs did participants experience during the retreat?
So the other shifts that I found was the silent eating. For some, that was the first time that they actually ate in silence. We also asked participants to turn off their devices if that aligned with them. And actually all of the participants agreed. And for many, it was a first to just sit in silence and really actually look at their food, see the food as a friend, see food as nourishment for the body, and also chew the food and actually spend time with it. Take your time and taste the food. And I'm one of those people that I grew up in New York. We were always on the go in a rush, and I would eat so quickly. And this is also a nice reminder for me. I do practice the mindful eating here and there, but I realize how important it is to do it more often. and how much your gut will thank you. Because when you're rushing through that, that food may not get digested as well. Because when we chew, we create more enzymes. And those digestive enzymes can help break down the food better. And then it can be better absorbed. But if we're rushing through it, some of that food can just get through us. It's not getting absorbed as well. We're not going to get the maximum benefit from the nutrients from that food.
Yes, very true. And I'd love to share as well. So, one of the breakthroughs shared by a participant was that their faith was restored after attending the 3-day soul reset retreat. And now, during the retreat, participants were able to step away from the distractions of daily life and truly reflect, reconnect spiritually, and the process, the challenges they had been carrying. And for this individual, the experience helped renew their sense of hope and strengthen their relationship with God. Now, it was a beautiful reminder that sometimes taking intentional time to just pause, reflect, and be in community can restore parts of our spirit that may have felt weakened or even lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like all of us, we need to connect with something deeper. And oftentimes that comes from within. So if you are struggling, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're exhausted, tired, of course, check out your hormones because they do play a role. Check out your labs because I've had a lot of folks, they're deficient in several minerals and nutrients. So when you replenish that, it can make a huge difference. Check how your gut is functioning. So that microbiome, so you can check all the different forms of the bacteria, if you have a good cohort or not. But there's a lot of things you can do objectively, so you're not just guessing. And then the second part is finding time. I shouldn't even say finding, it's there. We all get 24 hours. It's how we balance and how we look at time. The interesting part, and I asked Drew this, I'm going to ask you this too. How much time do you think we spent in silent eating when we did it? How much time do you think we were there?
When we had
our silent eating during the retreat?
Yes.
She doesn't know the answer, folks.
It felt like almost 15 minutes. That's how it felt.
Everybody thought that. And when Tori came, when one of our participants came, how long did you think it was?
Maybe a little bit longer.
Okay. So she actually came and it was only 3 minutes of the silent meditation. We did the total of the eating meditation in silence for 10 minutes. And I'm not kidding. I thought when Tori came, it was 10 minutes. It was only 3 minutes. Wow. So I share this because perspective and time is really an illusion. And you can think of it this way. If you're ever at a red light, how long does it take to actually have that light turn green? If you actually timed it. Now, timed it, you might say, it's only like a minute, 2 minutes max, maybe 3. But how does it feel when you're waiting for that light to turn, especially if you're in a hurry? Think about getting a massage or something that just flies by like a vacation, which it's the same time. Time is, right, a constant, but it's our perception of time. And that way you can actually manipulate time in a good way, in the sense if you tell yourself, I do have time, which you do, that is the truth.
That's right.
You can actually maximize, because if you're stressing about time, it actually takes longer to get things done because you're, looking at the clock, which takes away from what you're focusing on, or it can just take away from the moment. So I highly encourage folks to realize they do have time. Practicing the breath work and the smiles, I've gotten so much more done a lot quicker, more efficiently, and more relaxed when I'm not worrying about it, because I'm not expending all that energy towards kind of wasting time. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Gold. And in fact, one of the participants who participated in the meal as well, when we had that moment of silence, she said it really got her out of her comfort zone to have a meal with a group of folks and just have a moment of silence. Oh, and no phones, nothing on.
Right.
It said it really got her out of her comfort zone. And in fact, she suggested that we do it the next day when we had a meal.
I love it. I love it. And it's funny. She also mentioned that her family's from Cuba or Cuban, and they're just very loud. Typically, she's never had a silent meal with the family. I can relate to that. We're pretty noisy as well as a bunch.
Yes.
But it's great. It's great to have a transition. And she actually mentioned also she wants to do it with her daughters, which I think is a wonderful thing too.
I love it. Absolutely amazing. Now, Dr. Gold, What are the top 3 lessons participants walked away with in regards to the 3-day soul reset retreat?
The first thing was the connection. A lot of people told me they didn't think that that would be number one. They thought it would just be time to do some yoga, time to learn more about self-care or time with themselves, but the connection with others was a highlight, was a bonus that they received. And I do want to thank your family for being there. We had Mama Lulu, who's amazing. Yeah, Mama Bear there. She is a cook. Her heart is just wide open and just there to give hugs and be there for people anytime they needed her. So I wanted to thank her for being there. And then I was appreciative that we could do a healing circle with her as well for her body, for healing. The second,
Absolutely.
Yeah. The second part was the food. I honestly didn't plan that to know. And sometimes you have a group and you're not going to know what conditions they have, but we did have a few people with eating disorders who suffered with that or are suffering now. And I think it's ongoing. I mean, I feel like it's a program in our society to have that kind of compulsion that we have to pay attention to what we're eating, how much, and also just the idea of, and I'll just put this in quotes, but it is a reality of being fat. You know, the idea of if I eat too much of this or that. Now, some people say, oh, it is what it is, but it's either, when I was growing up, I didn't see movie stars who were overweight. I didn't see models. I know that's shifting now, but our mindset was this is what's beautiful and it has a look. You know, that's what I was programmed into learning when I was growing up. And that's how I felt. And I didn't fit that model. It was usually blonde hair, blue eyes, long hair, straight hair, not fluffy. And right now I realize it's okay. My beauty is different than somebody else's, and I can still love myself because I used to not think I was pretty at all. And it shifted. Well, you know, if you don't see it, I still don't see dolls in the regular stores that look like me, unless maybe it was custom made. If I look at primarily, you know, the majority of actors and actors, a lot of them. And now I'm starting to see people with my hair, but I don't see a lot of people that look like me. Now I know I'm an amalgamation of different people of different groups. So maybe you're not going to find something exactly. But yeah, it's one of those things that I'm loving my uniqueness. I'm loving my diversity and appreciating who I am as a person. But going back to your question of just embracing the authentic self is why I brought up that point. I noticed people with the eating disorders, they started to love food, see it as friend, not foe, and also appreciate that food can be more compassion. It's a message, it's information. Just how as if people sometimes can have a little getting upset with finances or get very stressed with that. It's just information, it's a currency. So when you realize it's data, it's a way your body, everyone needs food. We all need food in our lives to nourish our bodies. Maybe, you know, it can vary on amounts and stuff like that, but we all need food. We all need water. We all need air. That's a given, another truth. But finding what works with your body, how you can have it as an ally and not see it again as a foe or an enemy and not as punishment. Because we've had some folks eating and then, you know, they were binging or vomiting or taking the food out of their mouths, and that's not healthy either. So finding that healthy connection with keeping the food within the body so it can nourish it. And so you can love yourself even more to do that. True. And number 3, the last part, what we did, the rest, the importance of rest. And we did a yoga nidra, which is kind of a sleepful yoga or restful yoga. You hold the poses longer. Even including you, I just saw peace around people. Some people fell asleep. And it was beautiful. It was just
one of those people, Tanya, who fell asleep.
I know. Including my husband too. But it was great. I honestly treasure that in my yoga classes. I've had several folks fall asleep and they're like, oh, did I do it wrong? I'm like, you didn't do it wrong. Typically Shavasana is full presence. But if you fall asleep because you're so relaxed, it's not a bad thing. Your body probably needed it. So I encourage people. This retreat was the 3-day soul reset retreat was to reset our inner bodies, to rest when we needed it, to take care of ourselves at that higher level.
Yes, that's right. And so, to add to that as well, as far as some of the lessons participants walked away with, right, that were shared with me as well, you've already mentioned connections matter. That was one of them. Yes, and then also too, continuing to learn truly matters. So when you continue to learn, you continue to grow. Personal growth requires an openness to new knowledge, perspectives, and experiences. And then the last one here, trauma does not have to keep you stuck. And what we found was that even medical trauma here or life challenges do not have to define your future. With faith, support, and intentional steps forward, it is possible to move through it and not remain stuck.
Yeah. And I wanted to add to that. I mean, a lot
Yes.
of people had similar medical issues,
Right.
especially with the gut. Many of them had severe gut issues and gut surgeries and scars that were similar. So I honestly never believe in accidents. We all showed up. We were supposed to all be there in alignment and support one another. And the people that, because we had times where people were partnering up, the people that partnered shared similar experiences, and they were able to connect on a deeper level that I wouldn't be able to do. So I was really grateful that our creator helped me to align and help partner. And some people just partnered on their own with these other folks, but it was so nice to see the group deepen through the partnerships and feel closer to somebody who could really understand what they've been through, because they've been through it too.
I love it. And now moving forward to our biggest takeaway here. So
Mhm.
my biggest takeaway was yes, I do understand that when you continue to learn, you continue to grow. And I love to challenge myself to learn
Mhm.
something new. So I really challenge myself to learn something new at this 3-day soul reset retreat.
Mhm.
And I really learned too that from the mother's perspective, as far as one of our participants, she came with her daughter and it taught me a lesson. I don't have children of my own just yet, but one of the things that I learned was just the process and the journey of a mother, and really just how she was there for her daughter in regards to a medical matter, medical trauma, right? And
Right.
just that support and how it does have an effect on the child as well, all areas. So I just truly appreciate the participants for just being themselves and
Mhm.
as they are. And I truly believe that it is important to meet people where they are. And also, too, I really love the thigh massage because of the triathlon training that I'm doing. I
Mhm.
did find value in the thigh massage. It was so helpful, so relaxing. So thank you, Dr. Gold.
No, you're welcome. And for those that are not familiar, Thai massage is, they also know it's known as lazy yoga or yoga, because we're stretching somebody out, working our bodies, but the participant, the person doing the massage and the person receiving the massage both benefit. It's typically done on a yoga mat or some form of good cushion, so there's not any pressure or soreness on the person doing the massage. You're not putting, you're just, some people were giving massages, their like shoulders hurt, their hands hurt. You're actually working with different parts of your body. So you may use the elbows, the knees, the palms, and we actually work with the person. So if they're lying down on their bellies and you're on your back, and you're just kneading their back, it's just like waving those palms side to side, walking up the back and then walking down, or the legs. A lot of times there's emphasis on the feet as well, and then the head and neck. And it's just a wonderful way to recharge the body. I love massages in general. So all massages for me are great. But the Thai massage, I studied in Thailand, and it was just very heartfelt. I could feel the
Oh,
earnest, and I felt the person giving me the massage healing as well. And I think that's a little different sometimes than the regular other massages that I'm familiar with. The other person I sometimes do, but if it's depending on what's happening, it's the emphasis is both people benefit.
incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Gold. Now,
You're,
Dr. Gold, what was your biggest takeaway from the 3-day soul reset retreat?
for me, it was feedback. We got feedback, and I was so proud that I held my emotional intelligence. I was able to take it in and learn and grow from the comments, but also take what I needed. Because sometimes you get information, and if it ever hits you in a different way where you're either upset or angry with feedback, or if you're like, thank you, it's good to check in with yourself. Why are you responding the way you're responding? So for me, that feedback, one of the parts that I need to work on too, because everybody was so animated and full of enthusiasm and love and speaking to each other. So confrontation at times for me is a challenge. But the cool part is, I'm going to even use a different word, just to address side things if things pop up. What I learn now is a language to go along with that can be in alignment with a soul reset retreat. Kindness in my words. In New York, yes, we had different verbiage, but I feel I feel like now there's really nice ways to sandwich in helpful tips for other people, but also for myself too, my self-dialogue. So I used what was said and what was done during the retreat as an ascension, a way to grow and learn for next time. I'm excited to have another one. And just also the benefits of just the love and connection. Because my biggest takeaway with everything, and why I started to do the soul reset, is to bring people together. There's so much strife in the world, and I feel like there's a lot of dissidence, a lot of division. And what we need in this world now is connection. We need love. I've met so many folks, including patients and yoga students and mentors, who've told me they feel alone. They feel that no one really understands what they're going through. And part of this is to let you know you're not alone. You are connected. I am working on a 5-day pillar of radiance workshop, which basically is taking the 5 pillars of life, different parts of that, including our joyful movement, our breath work, food, connection, rest, but putting it in a cohesive program that anybody anywhere can start to do on their own. And then, of course, have that accountability. So we'll have some masterminds or check-ins with folks, but I'll guide them through this so they're not alone when they're doing it with their journey. And they'll also have a community that they can connect with. But it's important to know we're more similar than not. We, of course, have our uniqueness, but we're not separated. We're part of the whole collective, and we all need each other. We can't do, even your coffee has to come from somewhere. We can't do life by ourselves. And it takes courage, yes, it takes bravery to ascend and get to that next level of asking for help if you need it. But I think those who do connect and reach out, they do so well. And my biggest thing is, if you need help, if you're really feeling way down low, maybe even feelings of hurting yourself or something that's really serious, please, please, please get those resources, reach out to professionals, get the support, help. I'm here as well, Dr. Gold. But I just want you to know that you are definitely a beautiful light in this world. You're meant to shine. You're meant to feel amazing. You deserve that too. And you can't pour from an empty cup. So you do need, especially as parents, as family members, as professionals, as speakers, we need to pour back our cup so we can pour out to others, so we can help other people. We need to take care of ourselves first. And as we show ourselves self-love, we're able to do that for others.
That's right. And speaking of self-love, that was one of our main subjects as well, as it intertwines with self-care there. Self-care kept coming up, self-care a lot during the 3-day Soul Reset retreat. So the question out there to you all is what are some ways that you reflect self-care? What are you doing in regards to self-care for yourself? Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I would love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Gold, moving on to leadership and community, what role does leadership play in guiding others toward personal transformation?
It's a really good question. I was thinking about that. And I feel like a leader, for me, how I define it, is I never felt that I was above anybody in this group. I'm still learning. I'm still growing like everybody else. I have some more tools that maybe some people haven't heard of, or some things that I've done that have really worked for me and my patients and my yoga students, my family members. But I realize we're learning together. I can grow and learn from everybody else. But I think a true leader is learning from other people and recognizing that they can learn something new every moment and from every person. Even my animals, my kitty, we have a new kitten now. He is just so bouncy and playful, and I'm just learning even to be bouncy and playful. I've been mimicking his moves. He does yoga too and stretching out his downward cat. I've been doing that. But just the idea, and then he crashes, he rests. He rests when he's tired, he eats when he's hungry. And those are simple things, but I realized sometimes I was having a set schedule when I needed to eat, even if I wasn't hungry, or forcing myself to do certain things. I'm like, I can adjust, I can adapt. There's certain things we need to do, and I get that. But for the big picture, we can decide a lot of things too, especially with that self-care and checking in with your body. What kind of workout fits your body right now? What kind of rest do you need? Maybe going to bed earlier. I used to think, oh, if I go to bed so early, I'm a loser, or it's so boring, I'm, old or something. I'd have all these negative connotations in my head. And I'm like, that's silly. If I'm tired, it's okay to go to bed and rest. And if I don't want to do something, it's okay to set some healthy boundaries and say no at times, because no means never ending opportunity, but it's also opportunity to take care of you.
That's right. Now, moving on to reflection, if someone listening today feels stuck, overwhelmed, or spiritually drained, what message would you share with them?
First of all, that you're not alone. I would, depending on what it is, seek professional guidance or resources or hotlines if you need that. The other part is maybe even checking out that workbook that I created. You can reach out to me and I'm happy to send that to you. The 5 pillars of radiance, because if you go through each step, and even if you start with the first one, it's just the breath work. We do it with a smile. The smile is see more in life every day. Smile. And it's so simple. We were kissing the heavens as one exercise. Mwah, mwah. And just, I saw beautiful kisses all over the sky. But if you can think, I'm going to reach out to somebody, even our Heavenly Father or our Creator or our highest self, just reaching out to something above you, that spiritual essence, and the part to recognize that there's something greater that connects us all. And that's right. Why when you feel somebody in your presence, anything that's alive and full of life, you feel that energy. And I think it's really important to know that if you can have that life force at any age, the cool part is at any age, you can be happy. At any age, you can feel great. You can move, and your definition doesn't have to be so high. I've had folks say, I'll be happy when. I'm like, why delay it? Bring in the joy now, because life is too short. Viktor Frankl talked about, he wrote a book about it's going to come to me, but his book was all about, he was all about just bringing in the joy of living, even though he was dealing, Man's Search for Meaning. He was dealing with being in the Holocaust and in a concentration camp. And I said, if anybody, I wrote about him in my book, The 7 Habits of Extremely Happy People. But I was like, if he can realize his destiny and his ability to find joy if he needs that, or just know that his personal dignity, his thoughts, whatever he is wanting to feel is his choice. He has that ability to control they can take away everything from him, all his material possessions, but they can't take away his humanness. Exactly. And that for me was just so powerful, because we all have that within us. Again, it was Viktor Frankl, Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. And I would also add Women's Search for Meaning as well. But the title of the book is Man's Search for Meaning. But we all have that ability to find that innate strength, that resiliency within us. And the nice part is when we start to focus just something really simple, go outside, connect with nature, look at the sky. No matter what it looks like, it never looks exactly the same. And it can be a tapestry. It can be beautiful artwork that you see every day just to be mesmerized. One of our participants loved being outside, looking at the animals and looking at the stars and the moon. I love that too. I'm fascinated with life. And when you can find fascination, curiosity, then you can make life be even more exciting, even more thrilling without having to take, a bunch of medications or drugs or other stuff. It's not outside of you. You don't have to drink a lot of alcohol to have fun. You can have that fun from within, even just playing some music, rock it out. I love doing that. Sometimes I'm doing my dishes and I'm just dancing with the kitties and laughter. A wonderful way to change state in an instant.
Yes, life is so short, and so laughter, yes, does truly matter, right? We're very serious or
Yeah.
serious roles, right? It's okay to laugh from time to time. Thanks so much for that.
And we laughed a lot. I know. So our first day, your dad was in the other room, and we had one of the participants just arrive, and she was sitting
Yes,
there, and she thought this was it. These are all the people there, and this door kept chiming and turning, and she
yes,
didn't know there was another person on the other.
yes,
He's like, "What's going on here?" Oh
yes,
my goodness. And we just
yes.
all cracked up. And that laughter honestly broke the ice for a lot of people who
It
didn't know each
did.
other. And
Yeah.
we chimed in. It's good. It's healthy for you. We did that during my grandma's funeral, not laughing that God forbid, something serious happens. It's not at that. It's laughing as catharsis to heal. My grandma always loved to cook, and she always had something cooking in the kitchen. So the cool part is we all talked about all the amazing dishes. She was West Indian, so she'd make curry goat or peas and rice. And we were all talking about all her meals. And then we just burst out laughing, smiling, thinking of her and loving on her, loving her. And then we were hungry. but the idea is bring joy. What makes you laugh right now? What brings you joy? What uplifts you?
That's right. Very powerful. Thank you so much, Dr. Gold. Now, what's next for the Soul Reset movement?
Oh, I'm excited. So I even had a download today called Love Fest, just bringing people together to uplift their souls. Definitely working with you to create the next Soul Reset retreat so we can talk about that and get the dates for that. We're doing goat yoga. So that's a lot of fun. If you want to have your goat get a smile on, that is huge. It's just doing some yoga with baby goats. They're so sweet. It's baby goat yoga. And for the soul reset, I would honestly say delving a little deeper. I learned a lot from this retreat, and just guiding the group a little bit more intentionally, I think will be helpful on my part. And then just being an advocate for when somebody is speaking, we all respect that. They either have a talking stick and the person who has a stick is speaking. And then once they pass on that stick to somebody else, and the other person can speak. I did a retreat with another group called the IJS, and they honestly were very, very intentional and very good with if anybody interrupted or had side conversations, that just wasn't tolerated. And we can have different. I always feel like there's different nuances to everything, and you have to see what makes sense for your group. But I think the bigger intention will be making sure your voice matters, your voice is heard. And if we are having a talk, it's fine to, if you need to have a side conversation, you do it, but it's in a different place, a different spot, or you wait till later to communicate. So if the presenter is speaking, you let them speak, or if you have a question, of course, raise your hand and then you can chime in, of course.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Gold. And it was such an honor to host a 3-day Soul Reset retreat with you. I had a blast. And thank you so much, Dr. Gold. Where can the audience find you?
Oh, you can see me on social media. My handle is Dr. Tanya Gold, Dr. Tanya with an ATANYAGOLD. And if you can put it in the link, I'm happy to reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect and learn more about you. We have a cooking show as well as a yoga channel, and my channel is all about self-healing, self-love, and hormones. So as a hormone expert, I'm all about treating that root cause so we can get people well long-term.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of food channel, thank you so much to our amazing chef, Dr. Drew Gold, your husband.
Amazing.
Yes, in regards to our 3-day Soul Reset retreat, he is an amazing chef, and we truly appreciate him. And Dr. Gold, we appreciate you as well. And thank you all for listening in. God bless you and be safe.
Yeah, and his show is The Cooking in the Kitchen with Drew. So if you want to check out some cool, quick, healthy recipes, Cooking in the Kitchen with Drew.
Yes, awesome.
Thank you.